Pokemon Fanfiction Novels presents Phoenix Rising by Michael Anastas. Part 1, Gift of the Magi. Ash Ketchum, 5 years after entering the Pokemon Leagues, was killed while fighting against a Mewtwo clone. From Ash's shadow, another hero emerged. Daniel, using his defeat over the clone, took Ash's place in the Leagues, and many believe the legacy to be over. However, one chapter remained untold and unwritten of, a milestone in Ash's life, beginning with a letter sent to his mortician. Sealed orders from Ragnarok that Ash's body was not to be buried, but placed in stasis. Something revolutionary was underway. Almost a month after Ash's death, Brock and Misty had come to hating themselves for surviving. His death had put their entire world in a trauma. His Pokemon were being held in a psychiatric hospital, where they had sunk to the lowest of lows to forget about his death. Professor Oak had taken his death even worse. After the death of whom he believed would have been his first master, he now spent most of his days in the cellar drinking, while his idiot son acted like he knew what he was doing in the main lab. Ash's mother was the worst case of all. When she'd received the letter, she had nearly died from a heart attack. That was all that they had heard. Neither one of them wished to know of her fate. Not counting the priest, there were only 3 people at Ash's funeral: Brock, Misty, and Gary. Gary had his eyes closed and his head bowed to the ground, but Misty knew otherwise. She had seen the bottle of wine in the ice bucket in the back seat of his car. She confronted him immediately. "You know, you don't deserve to be here," she muttered to him. "What?" "You don't deserve to be here. You're glad Ash is dead." Gary crossed his arms. "And what if I am? Does it mean anything to you?" "How dare you! Ash died trying to save the world!" "A noble cause." Brock stepped in. "You're still the same old Gary. Cocky, ignorant, self-centered." "Is that an insult? What the hell do you think it is?" Brock and Gary raised their fists at each other, and the priest stepped in between them. "Gentlemen! Gentlemen! If you are here to fight, I would suggest you do it somewhere else. We are here to honor the life of Ash Ketchum, not to start a war." Brock and Gary lowered their fists and edged away from each other, both keeping an eye on the other. The priest took his place behind the coffin and looked around. 3 people? A modern legend rests before us, and only 3 people showed up for his funeral? "The League gave him a big memorial last month," said Misty with a sigh. "He and Sabrina." "Oh, yes. That was broadcast to the world, wasn't it?" He placed his hands on the podium and leaned up against it. "We are here today to honor the life of Ash Ketchum." "Pika!" Misty and Brock turned around, not surprised that Pikachu had escaped from the mental clinic to come to the funeral. "Pika-Pee!" Pikachu whined. He walked up to the casket between Misty and Brock and collapsed in front of it, pounding the ground and screaming out words in Pekingese. Brock only managed to translate one phrase: "Damn you all to hell." The priest adjusted his glasses. I must say, I've never seen a funeral as tragic as this." "Open the box. He's not dead yet." All 4 pairs of eyes turned to the gates of the cemetery. There, walking towards them, was a young man wearing blue jeans, a white t-shirt, and a black jacket with a red phoenix on the back. His eyes were ocean blue, and his hair a jet black and cut short. There was a tattoo peeking out from the sleeve of his left arm. A black circle with a sword silhouetted against a blazing sun, which he normally made sure to cover up. Behind him walked his faithful Arcanine, who had been his companion for 13 years.
Merlin,
Misty choked. I didn't think you would make it. Merlin, the Magi Durai, the only trainer to be expelled from the leagues for being too good. The man who had created his own gym in a desolate city across an ocean called Sierra Lazis and formed the Imperial Sierra Mana, the world's largest Pokemon industry. From there, he formed the Phoenix Badge, which was distributed to those who had passed years of training. Only 10 people possessed the Phoenix Badge, including Merlin, who had developed every backbreaking course trainees must face, and Ash Ketchum, who had earned his after saving Sierra Mana from armed forces sent by Giovanni, Merlin's arch-rival. Merlin Durai, the idol of gym trainers everywhere, had just proclaimed that Ash was not dead. "Open the box," he said again as he walked up to them. "He's not dead yet." The priest put on his glasses and stared at him wide-eyed.
Merlin Durai, what do you mean he isn't dead? He's been dead for almost a month.
Merlin produced a blue-gold Pokeball from his coat pocket, one of the trademarks of Sierra Mana graduates. He lightly tossed it out of his hand, and in a flash of light, a Mewtwo appeared before them.
Mewtwo!
Brock said, nearly falling over.
I thought...
This is a different one, said Merlin. She's not a clone, though. This one was evolved naturally, as we were well aware of the consequences of a test tube Pokemon. Sierra Mana is also home to the largest independent research facility. Merlin looked down at Mewtwo. You know what I need you to do. Mewtwo nodded and focused all of her energy on the casket before her. She remained there for 10 minutes, until Gary finally pulled Merlin aside.
Are you out of your mind?
Gary half shouted.
Ash is dead! You can't change that!
Merlin supported his chin and thought for a second. I know you. You're that punk rival of Ash's, aren't you?
Punk?
That's what you were when I met you, and that's what you'll always be.
Even if I am a punk, you're just an insane fool. You can't bring someone back from the dead.
You mean you don't want me to?
You idiot! It can't be done! He's been dead for a month!
Merlin pushed past him. That's your opinion, and you're entitled to it. Seconds later, there came a sound from within the casket.
Ow! Hey, what the...
Brock and Misty stumbled backwards and nearly tripped over the graves behind them. Merlin turned towards Arcanine.
Arcanine, take off the lid! Okay.
Arcanine ran over to the lid and pulled the nails open with his teeth. In seconds, they were gone, and the lid snapped open. There, where there should have been a faceless corpse, Ash Ketchum, alive and well, gasped for air and squinted in the morning light.
Huh? What? Pikachu!
Pikachu leapt at Ash and tackled him at the shoulders. Ash felt the wooden sides of the casket, and the cold realization came over him. With that thought, he hugged his Pikachu tighter than ever, both of them filled with joy for the fact that even death could not separate them. A tear of joy fell from Misty's eye.
Step away, Pikachu. It's my turn.
Neither Ash nor Pikachu heard her, although Ash did notice the shadow that loomed over him. Merlin stood and offered his hand. Wake up, dead man. We've got work to do.